Okay, so for this tutorial you would be needing your magical Cricut maker, some fabric glue or double-sided tape, whatever you have, some cork fabric, cork or vinyl. I'm trying to cut down on vinyl because it's not eco-friendly, and I'm trying to switch to just cork, which is also kind of like leather, but it's natural and super eco-friendly. So I'll be using that. And of course you would be needing your strong grip mat, which is this purple one. However, if your strong grip mat does not have a strong grip anymore, you're gonna need some masking tape or scotch tape to tape everything in place. And you're also gonna need a magnetic snap, which looks like this. That's it. These are all the supplies you need, and of course you'd be needing a domestic or an industrial sewing machine, whatever is available to you, that's totally fine. And if you're using a domestic sewing machine, you're also gonna need a walk-in foot. This is what a walk-in foot looks like, and it makes sewing through thick layers very easy. So grab all your supplies and come, let's get started with this super quick, super easy tutorial. First of all, open up Design Space. Next, go to New Project, then click on Upload. First of all, download the free file available from the VIP library, and then click on Upload Image. Click on Browse, then look for the file and upload it here. So this is what it should look like. Once done, just click on Save. Now select the image and click on Insert Images from the right hand side. So this is what you should have now. Now we need to cut out two pieces. So we're gonna duplicate this by clicking on Duplicate from the right hand side. Now just arrange everything so that it's side by side. Now if you want to cut out three pieces together, you can just select both of these and duplicate them and place them on one mat. If you're gonna do some production style sewing, you can cut out several of those together, save time, and make all of them together. So I have three sets over here, front and back, front and back, front and back. So I'm just gonna click on Make It. Next, I gotta make sure that I select 12 by 24 inch board so that everything is cut on one mat. I'm just gonna rotate and arrange everything. So now I can easily cut three sets together. Next, I'm gonna click on Continue. Now it's time to connect the machine. So once your machine is connected, so my machine is now connected, I'm gonna select the type of fabric, which is faux leather. And since this is cork, I'm gonna click on higher pressure. So from the drop down menu, I'm gonna select more pressure. And then I'm just gonna load the mat and get things cut. Okay, so our mat is ready, and as you can see, everything is pretty side down. Now I'm just gonna load the mat inside. And click on the Cricut button. Okay, now that everything is cut, we just need to peel it and remove everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that off camera. Okay, now that we have everything cut and ready, next step is to place marks for the snaps. So take both your lining and the front pieces and place them one on top of each other, making sure that all the edges are perfectly aligned, as you can see here. Next, take an awl with the tapered end, some kind of pin or anything that you have, and place a mark around 0.5 inch from the top so that it goes through both the layers. So now you should have a mark over here. Next, keep aside one of the pieces and fold this thing over and use your awl to make another mark so that it goes through the flap and into the body. So this way, when you attach the snap, they're gonna match perfectly. So you should have another mark over here under the flap. So we're gonna attach the top snap over here and the bottom snap over here. All right, now it's time to attach the snaps. So once you have the holes in place, it's now time to attach the magnetic snaps. So take your washer, which comes with your magnetic snaps, and place it so that the center of the washer is right on top of the mark that you just placed, and use your pencil to mark the straight lines which are beside the center, these two straight lines on the piece, so that you can work on these later on. And I'm going to do the same for the other part where the other side of the snap is going to go. So I'm just going to take it and place it like this. Use my pencil to place two marks vertically. Next, I'm going to take my seam ripper and I'm going to make two vertical holes so that I can insert the prongs of the magnetic snaps. So once done, I'm just going to place the magnetic snap inside, place the washer, and use my hammer to knock this off. Similarly, I'm going to do the other side. Just gonna use the snaps are in place, and as you can see, one snap is on this side and the other snap is on this side, so they're placed totally opposite. Now it's time to place the two sides wrong sides together and just sew them all around. So I'm gonna use my glue to hold the two together. You can also use double-sided tapes. They are super helpful. I actually ran out of them. Now I need to hit the store to get some more, but you can just apply them and place the two together, and you don't even have to wait for it to dry off. And when you're placing the two together, make sure you hold them using clover clips and do not use pins, because pins are gonna leave holes in the cork or vinyl, which cannot be fixed. So I'm just gonna leave this to dry off and to make sure that these two are stuck properly, and then I'm gonna sew it on my machine. Alright, so the glue has all dried up. Now it's time to sew this thing. So I'm gonna just do a top stitch all around first. And you can use a domestic or an industrial sewing machine for this. But if you're using a domestic sewing machine, you would need to use a walk-in foot, which looks like this, and it makes sewing thick layers pretty darn easy. So without this, you cannot sew thick layers. So make sure that you have this if you're gonna sew this on a domestic machine. I'm gonna sew all around using a seam allowance of 1/8 of an inch. And I'll be using a wide stitch length. Alright, so the sides are all sewn together. Now we just have to fold this over and make sure that the magnetic snaps are perfectly aligned like this. And once you're happy with the placement and everything, just use clover clips to hold the two sides together like this from both sides. Now all we gotta do is sew along this edge and sew along this edge, and I'm gonna use a seam allowance of 1/4 of an inch to sew these two edges, and make sure that you leave this flap open when you're sewing. All right, so it's all done. Right, so here we are. Our card wallets are all ready to be gifted to literally anyone in the family. So if you like this tutorial and you want to see more of these awesome projects, just subscribe to our channel, and once again, you can get the free SVG file by joining the VIP list. The link is given in the description. Bye bye, see you next time.